Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg 80% tutorial. I am Cairo, and today you're about to witness probably one of the worst levels in 80%, for me at least. This is Pirate Island Mission 2. This is the boss level against Captain Glur. Now, the battle against Captain Glur isn't actually that bad. The level itself is where I draw problems. And the reason why that is because this level is terribly inconsistent at being able to do fast, and this is because of something known as the cannons in this level. We're going to use the cannons to do some giant skips, which are very fun for beginners because, you know, you can just take your time to line them up, and then when you do it, you get like a nice big result. But as you're trying to get better at the game, it's really hard to consistently get them in the spot you want relatively quickly, and of course we want to be saving as much time on cannons as we can. But yeah, enough about that ramble. I'm going to run through the level once, and then I'll explain everything that I just did, and also show off some cool strats. So let's start the level. So yes, we're going to do a nice dash jump off this bridge onto the slide, and we're going to ignore this penguin and go. Penguin, that's a frog. And then we're going to do this nice skip, and we got a nice cannon shot like that. Lovely. Now I'm just going to say my cannon shots have been terrible lately, so please bear with. This one might take a couple of attempts. There we are, perfect. And yeah, that's the level essentially. So let's break this down as I enter the boss. So, see ya. Right, so let's talk about the start. This is pretty straightforward. Literally, all we're going to do is we're going to grab our egg, we're going to dash down the bridge, and then dash jump upright like so. So we're going to dash, and then at the end of our dash we're going to just hold upright. I'm going to keep holding that to the turn, and eventually do that. Then we're just going to run through this frog and dash jump at the end of that sort of that golden box that we ran through to get into this ring. Then we're going to come up here. Now we have this gate skip. There's like lots of different ways you can do this. You can egg bounce around and you know, dash in. You can egg bounce and cancel that egg bounce into a nice roll into the cannon. You can hit this switch to get into this cannon. Or you can do what I did, which was dash jump like this. But if you're going to do that, just be careful of this chick here. He might get in your way and do something like this, or send you in the completely wrong direction. That's something to be aware of. Now, if you die in the next section, you will be respawned here. Luckily there's an egg here, so what I would recommend doing then is just egg bounce around and then dash into this cannon. But that's up to you how you want to do that. So, let's go into the first cannon, let's talk about this shot. So, here we are, this is the first cannon. So I'll show off some examples of this not working. Like, if I shot here, this would miss, and if I shot here, this would probably miss. And the way that I like to tell when... Okay, so yeah, I haven't actually explained anything yet. So we're going to be shooting this cannon to hit roughly where this reticle is, to go off to the right. Let me get my little trusty arrow. We'll be going this way, which will land us down the bottom of the slide. And this one's actually pretty easy to line up, mainly because all we're going to do first is hold left to get the cannon to like its maximum range on the left here. So I can't go any further left as I'm trying to right here. And then all that's left is we got to line up the vertical position. Now, this bit's pretty easy. All you need to know is that, like, what I like to do is I like to look at the middle of the flag. So, you know, where it curves in the most. And if it's directly in the middle, that's way too high. Now, if you're just a tad below it, like, I think that's still a little bit too high. So if you're like here, that's a pretty good spot to shoot from. And if you shoot from, I usually look at this weird little thing here on the flag, and I line that up with a straight line. If it's the center of the reticle is below that, then I think, yeah, that's probably a bit too low. So, yeah, basically I'm looking at the center of the reticle, you know, that horizontal line here. So, I can tell you that that's probably going to work, that's probably going to work, but that won't work, and that will probably work. You also want to try and aim the cannon as high as possible, because if you aim sort of lower, you're going to land on the slide, in which you have to do this slow rollout down it. I mean, it's still better than getting like no trick at all, but like if you can, try and aim as high as you can, because if you hit the top part of this big wooden box bit above the green, that's pretty good. If you hit the green, you're going to hit the slide, and if you hit below the green, you've missed. And of course, you've missed as well as you overshoot that. So, let's try and line that up pretty well. And as you see, I'm just going to press A to shoot out. I'm going to bounce off this wall and land at the bottom of the slide. Cool. Now let's talk about the next bit. So yeah, here's some examples of me missing the cannons just to get an idea of what's too high, too low. So I'd say that's like basically the perfect height, but that's still that's like, it's hard to like get it lined up precisely. Also, that's the thing about the cannons you need to know, that these dead zones suck. Like, you can tell, like, I'm trying to like nudge it like so slightly, and it's so unresponsive that like it's so hard to get in the spot you want. So if I shot there, you can see I just overshot it and landed in the water behind me. You can actually land on that rail that that you basically bounce off of, and you can like save that with a roll, but you have to be like a precise height to get it, and it's not even faster. Also, then if we go too low, where if we shoot, I'm trying to get like right on it, like here, this will miss. As you can see, we hit below that and we go down like so. And then let's pretend like we got the right height. Let's say we weren't exactly in the middle. Then you may make it down, but sometimes if you're a little bit too far to the right, you may miss, which is something that may happen. So I guess know what lands and what misses, and you should be good. So yep, next up on the thing to talk about is what's going to be happening here next. Now there will be a penguin here, so I will reset. Well, actually, I'll explain what I need to do first, and I'll show it off again with the penguin there. So we're going to get up onto this platform up here. And the way we can do that really easily is to egg bounce and roll. As you see, there's a text box there. We can actually skip that. And also, be careful when pressing A here so you don't lose all your speed. If you roll up there and die, it's fine, you will respawn up here. This level's quite generous with checkpoints, so you should be fine there. But for example, you can actually skip that text box if you basically roll and jump immediately like that. I mean, the text box didn't appear there because we've already activated it, but essentially that would have skipped the text box. I'd go for the text box skip once you're comfortable doing this roll. So what I would suggest is like getting used to the camera and then try to roll down the bridge. Or you can try and hit this, or the green egg that would be here to try and kill your speed. Basically make sure you've slowed down enough for safety. So let's do that a couple more times. So you can egg bounce, roll, bump into that. You can egg bounce, roll, bump into that if you really want to, or you can just come down this bridge. So it's up to you what you do here. Just know that you've got to be kind of quick when doing this, because there is a penguin that will be chasing you, and he can hit you off. Let's see if we can actually get that to happen, just to show that off. He knows he's interested. Okay, well I killed him, but yeah, just know that there is a chance that that can happen, and you just don't want that to be a thing. So, the final thing you should be cautious about is timing this egg bounce here, because if you overshoot this, you're going to go down here, essentially. And I did that on purpose, by the way. And as you can see, there's no real way to get back up easily. You could technically dad bounce in this corner to get up, but I feel like it's really slow at that point. So, usually what I would do is reset, because it just is dependent on the respawn points. In fact, let me just do a quick reset and run down here. Go to dash through here and do the cannon shot. That'll work. Cool. So yeah, that's me hitting the slide because I was a little bit too low. But yeah, if you miss, yeah, the best way is to take an L. Sometimes people reset, or people just run straight into the water. Yeah, we get respawned here essentially. So yeah, you're going to lose a lot of time essentially and have to do this cannon shot again if you are to fall off here. It's pretty easy, just take your time, you know, just egg bounce over when you see the shadow, do the trick. And that's also the text box skip, if I didn't hit that post there. You need to make sure you land on the bridge just so you don't hit it. That's pretty cool. Next up, let's talk about the second cannon, which is the worst part. Actually, no, first of all, yeah, if you really don't want to do that skip, I won't stop you from doing this. Now, the thing with most yellow hoops in this game is you press A immediately, you can shoot out of them the way you need to go, but this one's an exception. Just thought I should mention that. Do not mash A in that yellow hoop or you will die. Nice. So, let's talk about this cannon, yeah. Cool, so now we actually have the second cannon. Luckily, my good friend Datsun, who is famous for some setups that I've talked about in this tutorial, has made us a little reference guide as to where to aim this cannon. Essentially, we need to aim it over here roughly, and basically I'm just going to give like the next 10 seconds to show off Datson's guide. It'll be put in post editing, don't worry, and essentially this will show off basically the points where you need the center of the reticle to be in order to shoot the cannon. As you see, there will be like a little point that dips downwards, which works, but I wouldn't bank on trying to get that one. I would just try and get it roughly between these blue lines. You know, so you want it to be like roughly between here and, oops, this is very hard to, as I said, Desert Interval, and there essentially. Something like, I'm trying to get on the line just to prove a point here. Yeah, cannons are awful. Yeah, something like that would probably miss, but you know, if you're like a pixel higher, that would probably be fine. If you go too far right, it'll miss. If you go too far left, you'll just bounce off that. So you need to make sure your reticle's in there. You can take as long as you want, really. I know if you're trying to like be faster at the game, you want to do this as best as possible, but honestly, I don't think anyone has any advice for cannons. We sort of just do it. I mean, a lot of people tend to go like, alright, I've got it lined up vertically, now I'm going to do it horizontally. I don't think that's the best way to do it, because you can't tell if you're lined up properly from this angle. So what I do is I just throw the reticle near to where I need to do it, and then I just make all the adjustments I need over there. So like, I'll throw it like there and go, okay, well, I'm too low and I'm too far to the left, so I'm going to nudge to the right, and then start nudging upwards when I feel comfortable with that. But yeah, it's up to you how you do this, but I feel like my personal preference is to get it somewhere like nearby, and then, because if I get it like on the spot immediately, then I can save a bunch of time, and if I don't, it's fine. Now I've got to show out the cannon, and that should work. Yeah, perfect. And as you see, we're at the boss pool. Sometimes you may like be a little bit off, where you might land here and Billy falls in the wall, or Billy may just narrowly just miss it, and you'll just straight up miss if you go straight down the wall over there. If by any chance you know you're going to recover and fall in the water mid-recovery, you can try and roll and go up this bit here. That's something I've been theorizing to do, but I've never been able to do it, but I can see how it could be possible at least. Yeah, so you can try that. Someone could try and prove that for me, that would be cool. And that's basically the level, I think. We're not going to talk about the Pirate Cave because you shouldn't really be taking it, considering how free these cannon shots are. Even if you're going to take like 2 minutes to line it up, I think it's perfectly fine if you're going to take your time to line it up, as long as you get it. And yeah, as long as you're using that reference guide that I'm going to be putting on the video and in the description, then you should be good. So yeah, Pirate 2 is a pretty straightforward level when you think about it as like a basic level, but when you try and like optimize it, it's just really annoying, and there isn't really anything to suggest. I wish there was ways we could just make cannons free, but I don't think it'll ever happen, honestly. So I'll be happy. I would love to be proven wrong, though. Let's just say that. So now I'm gonna fight Glur, and I'm gonna try and do this in one take. But if I don't get it in this first take, you won't know that I'm saying this. But I'm pretty confident in my ability to do Glur that I can just run through this in this single recording. So this is going to be how you do the fast Glur strat. So yeah, we're going to grab this fruit in this order and a sort of relative speed. The only fruit really that matters here is that apple, and we got that fairly quickly. So then we're going to hit Glur like that, and I'm going to come over to this spot. I'm going to wait here. Nice. And then you just gotta keep hitting him like so. And then after the next hit, an apple will spawn, and we're gonna pick up that apple as he bounces back. And then we're gonna come over to this pineapple, dunk on the ground, dash into the middle of the arena for safety, and shoot him like that. And that's how you fight Glur. As you can see, pretty easy boss. And if we jump towards the middle, as long as we're airborne, we can land on the emblem, and hopefully if it was a little bit off, we can just hold whichever direction we can to correct ourselves, and the egg will push us in, like so. So let's explain Glur before... next up, let's explain Glur so you understand everything I just did there. Right, so Glur is a really complicated boss. Mechanically speaking, there's a lot that goes on with this boss. So there's some stuff you just need to understand first of all. So yeah, his first attack, he basically will shoot you with these bullets that will chase you. So yeah, we want to dodge those. And I won't talk about why I'm grabbing this through in this order just yet, but I'll just explain that. So he will shoot in this order and eventually shoot out 6 shots. So it's 4 shots, but those 4 shots are random. And he becomes vulnerable in this state where he is laughing, so just hit him there. Now, he's going to jump out the puddles and land on you. Or try to, at least. During this time, we can hit him twice. 1, 2. And we can do that for the first 3 times he jumps out the puddle. We can just go 1, 2. And as you can see, we'll do it 1, 2. But now, if we try and do this, he'll only take 1 hit. And then he'll only take 1 hit again. And then he'll come to the middle. And do these shots. So those shots are important to know as well. But yeah, as you could probably see, after a certain damage threshold, or after after a certain amount of jumps, I'm not sure what it factors, whether it's the amount of jumps or whether it's the damage threshold. He only allows you to hit him once every time he lands on the ground. But we can actually break the rules a little bit here. Because you probably saw that I was hitting him twice every phase, and I was doing some egg dunks and stuff. So let's talk about why that worked. So we can only hit Glur once after the 3rd jump if he's on the ground. If he's in the air where he is still vulnerable, then that's fine. That does not count for it. So we can actually get some extra hits in if we hit him out of the air. Now the problem is, if he lands on the egg, he's going to damage it or potentially break it, which will then, of course, by chance, ruin how the boss works. So we do those dunks because those shock waves have a hitbox that will also deal damage to Glur. So we can basically dunk the egg away from Glur, get hit by Glur, and the shockwave will hit Glur as he lands on us, and keeping the egg completely safe. Therefore, he got hit in the air, we can then turn around and then hit him for that 1 time on the ground. The reason why we do this on the first 3 phases is just because it helps you get the rhythm, because there's a certain rhythm you need in order to hit Glur, because it's the same rhythm for the first 4 phases, and the 5th one where you have a full egg is a little bit different, but it's still pretty easy to get. So I'm actually going to finish this boss off, and I'll explain that rhythm for how I hit Glur. So just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so let's talk about the rhythm that I do when I am fighting Glur, as to hit him out of the air with an egg dunk like so, and avoid the egg taking damage whilst Billy gets hit. So it's actually, I'd say it's pretty easy, but it might vary because I'm just used to it. So essentially, Glur will just jump out of a puddle and try to land on you. As soon as I notice that Glur's out of the puddle and in the air, I basically do a stutter step forward like so. Basically, I just hold forward. As you can see, Billy is very delayed in that. I basically tap forward, delay a little bit, and then I just jump and dunk like so. So it's like that, essentially. That's how I time it, at least. Just stutter step forward, delay a little bit, like a few frames, then just jump and dunk so. Like so. That's the rhythm I do. And then, of course, when I get hit off, I'm trying to get to the back of the egg, so I just turn around, hit Glur, and then I just sort of get back into position, do it again, until he is dead. So, now we've got that rhythm down, let's talk about how to actually set up for this boss. So, let's do that right now. So yeah, let's talk about how to fight this boss. So, you probably saw right at the start, I'm just going to pause this right away when I can. You can see I'm probably mashing the heck out of my start button. There we are. Cool. So you probably saw me, grab that apple right away. The reason why we grab that apple right away is because on the 5th phase of Glur, we need to be able to deal 6 damage to him very quickly. And the problem with that is, for most of the boss fight, we have a egg that deals 5 damage, or not 5 damage, an egg that deals 2 damage, and they basically add up to dealing 4 damage. So we need to be able to grow our egg very quickly and hit him. If we camp near the apple, we can basically get that to grow the quickest as it's closest to our egg that is closest to us. So if we basically grab our egg and immediately grab the apple, we can then grab all the rest of the fruit, go back to where the apple should respawn, and then after the 4th hit, the apple should respawn. We can pick that up and then hit him for 6 damage on the next phase. It's a bit confusing, but to basically know what we're going to do first of all is we're going to grab our egg and grab that apple, because we need it to respawn. So, right off the bat, I'm going to come over here, grab that apple, grab the cherry. You can grab these fruit in any speed you want, really. But after I've grabbed the pineapple, I like to come over this wall and I like to do one jump, just to stay in the air, not get hit. And then he's going to shoot his 4 puddles out. And then we can just egg shoot him when he becomes vulnerable. Don't egg shoot too early, or you might just lose your egg, or it might get damaged and break, which we don't want. We want to keep our full-sized egg. So next up, I'll show off basically how I do the hits. I basically explained the rhythm already. So yeah, you're going to see this in action now. And if you're a bit confused by the rhythm when I was doing the doing it without getting the hits in, then I'd recommend watching this part. So just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to start a fresh recording in case I need to. So yeah, after we hit Glur, we're going to come over to here. And this is where the apple respawns. So we want to come over here, because if we stand over where the apple's meant to respawn, it will be delayed. So we want to just be slightly to the right of it, I like to do. So, yeah. We're going to come here and wait for Glur to jump out of the puddle. And now he's jumped out of the puddle, I'm going to do that start a step forward rhythm. Delay that. Start a step, let Billy sort of slide for a second. Then we're going to jump, dunk. Regrab our egg and hit him. And then he's going to jump back in. And then we're going to just reset that, get back into position, and repeat every time he jumps out of the puddle for the first 3 phases. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the first 3 phases, and as I said, on the 4th and 5th one, you're going to be hit once. So we need to make sure this next one connects. So you can actually miss the first 3 phases if you want to, and you won't really get punished for it. You will just have to you will lose a little bit of time, but it's fine. Also, if you say missed the apple grab first off, so you couldn't get it to respawn right away, then I would recommend stalling out the first 3 phases where you can hit him twice, just so you can give you time for the apple to respawn. And as you can see, it's down next to the pause menu as it has respawned. So we're going to grab that apple and stand over here. Now we have to do the same thing, but we probably have to do it a little bit quicker. Like so. We're going to re-grab our egg and hit him one more time. Cool. That's the hits done. Now, if you are to lose your egg or you don't want to do this rhythm, that's fine. You're just going to have to do a few more phases after this next coming bit. But that's fine. As long as you keep that rhythm, he should be dead in no time after that, to be honest. So next up, we're going to dash over to that pineapple that's on the other end of the screen above our health bar. Because that's where he's going to jump to next. And he's going to levitate in the air before he's going to start shooting you. Now, one thing that I haven't actually mentioned yet is that when he's floating in the air, he's actually vulnerable if you hit him with an egg dunk. Because the shockwave is big enough to hit him out of the air. We want to throw it next to Glur, but not onto Glur, because Glur will break your egg otherwise. So we need to just throw it next, we just need to throw it in front of Glur, but not so far in front of, so close to Glur that the egg's going to get consumed by him. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to dunk. Now, depending on the speed of this dunk, he's going to do 3 things. The first one is he's going to either shoot 2 shots, he's going to shoot 6 shots, or he's going to shoot a buttload of shots. Now, it's basically based off how quick you hit him. If you hit him right away as he comes down, then he will do the 2 shots, which is the fastest. If you are a little bit delayed, he'll shoot 6, which is fine. I'll show off all this, by the way. And if you miss completely, then he'll shoot, however many he wants. So just keep that in mind. If you hit him sooner, it's faster. So as you see, 1, 2, and then we can dunk him for the final hit. Now, there's some other stuff to go over as well. For example, first just dunk, turn around, jump near the middle of the arena, and hopefully the egg should return into you and push you into the emblem like so. But yeah, there's some stuff definitely explained, some stuff to look out for, things you just don't want to happen during this boss fight that I do want to just run through. So let's do that now. So yeah, I guess the first thing you want to look out for is to not shoot your egg too early here, Well, like, yeah, he's invulnerable, but sometimes I've had it where he does somehow still break your egg. I'll see if I can actually get that to happen. I don't know what makes that click, but maybe it's the puddle that hits the egg or something. But yeah, essentially there's no point in egg shooting too early because you're just going to lose time anyway, and I am pretty sure you can lose your egg to it. Well, yeah, I got hit there. Oh yeah, you can see like he does those shockwaves that come out of him. So yeah, make sure that those little shockwaves that come out of him don't hit you. That's the first thing to look out for. I guess then the second thing to look out for is to make sure you don't miss time anything like this, because you will lose your egg. Like for example, if I shot there, my egg took damage, and of course if it takes one more, it's gonna break. And we don't want that. Also, if you miss here, yeah, that's a bit of an oop. But yeah, let's talk about the 6-shot strat here. Well, you know what happens if you make him shoot 6 shots. So like, I'm gonna delay it a little bit, and then hit him, and he's now going to shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, that's a little bit slower than we would ideally want it. But as you can see, I missed one hit there, and I have suffered from it by having to watch one more phase. If that does happen where you didn't do enough damage, what I like to do is I just like to do this phase in the middle of the arena, so at the moment I finish him off, which that shot would have, I'm just not going to play the cutscene because it's too long, which essentially would finish the fight. So yeah, just finish the fight in the middle of the arena and grab the emblem. Because it does happen at the best of times, but as long as you are made aware, then you should be good. So let's just show off what happens if you completely miss the shot, and why we don't want to miss that final pineapple shot, I call it. So let's just do that. So yeah, so let's pretend like we didn't hit this shot. Let's say we tried to do it with a small egg. As you can see, we can't hit bullet. Now he's going to shoot 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Roughly 21, 22 shots. As you can see, it's very slow. Something we don't want to happen. So yeah, make sure you can hit him. I mean, sometimes you kind of have to just accept that that's going to happen if you, by chance, don't have an egg big enough to hit him out of the air there, which a small one is not good enough for doing. So yeah, I guess that's everything with Glare. There isn't really much else to talk about. Let's just finish off the boss from this point here. And nice miss, Kai. Oh, nonetheless, he's dead. He's dead. That's Glare dead. So yeah, I guess thank you so much everyone for watching this one. This one was a bit of a mess because it's a very difficult level to explain. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff that I can't really explain too well, but it's stuff you need to know, and it's really annoying that like it has to be so difficult to explain. Anyway, I've been Kyrone. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this game, speedrun.com/BH has a link to the Discord. I will also post that link in the description in case you want it there. Follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/Kyrone. If you want to, you know, support me and help me grow as a content creator for Billy Hatcher, because I'm trying to do like a lot for this game right now, which is kind of pog. So yeah, I think that's everything. Sorry if I sound super tired. It's because I am super tired. I had a long day. But no one cares about me, so let's just end this here. See you, boys.